Hello, guys. It is me, TrainLover1974 here, and I understand it has been a little while since my last live stream. I didn't do one for Christmas, but I am so sorry about that. Anyway, welcome back to a new live stream. This is my 11th one, and I really hope we can get some people in here. Sorry, I'm just checking my notifications. Hello, Donald and Douglas Productions. Nice to see you here. Anyway, today I am wanting to react to some people's videos. We're going to react to a couple of my friends' videos, and then we're going to get to... Oh yeah, don't mind these are just some videos I watch occasionally. We're going to get to first, speaking of Donald and Douglas, we're going to watch some of Donald and Douglas's videos, since me and him recently became friends again. I have forgave him for the stuff he did in the past, so I just say is that we just leave it in the past. Alright, what's this think? I guess we react to this. Oh yeah, I'm doing well, by the way, Donald Douglas. Yep. It's fine. I think I know what's coming up. Ooh. And that's how Gordon dies. Cool. We're also going to react to one final one, which will be this. Oh yeah, I do not own this, so please do not copyright me. I'm sorry, I can only react to a bit of that because I don't want to get risking a copyright claim. I feel like I might get one if I do. But anyway, now that we're done with that, make sure it goes... Oh yeah, real quick, is that I do not own the rights to the footage. It belongs to this channel, Donald and Douglas Productions. He is a good friend of mine on YouTube. So, yeah, go subscribe to him. We are also going to react... Duck and Oliver, it's so good to see you again, my friends. It has been a long time. Anyway, don't mind that. Let's get back to the home page. We are going to look for some... I think I know what video I want to watch. If you guys have any video suggestions, leave them down in the comments. Let's see... Oh yeah, my playlist. If any of you guys remember, this channel was known as Mrs. Oliver and Blossom. It was a pretty cool channel back in the day. But it's no longer updated, and I'm sorry to the guy, is that I know you don't like being called this anymore. But, this is what I call your videos. So, I'm going to react to one of his videos, because I feel like it. Oh. Yeah, James can be like that. Let's just react to some cool video.
This is Dave,
I hate
head
this
of marketing at a ketchup company, about to use Grammarly to handle. Sir Topham Hatt!
I was watching this
Thomas the
earlier.
Tank Engine.
Let's watch. Maybe, I don't know.
It was a splendid day on the island of Sodor. Thomas the Tank Engine was happily working on his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. And the passengers were always happy to see him. But very fortunately, this episode has nothing to do with him. What? Why in the hell not?
Whoa.
Dude, have you seen your show lately? You take up everyone else's screen time. No wonder the mature fans blame you for being a store-billing bastard.
For the last time, it's the writer's fault, not mine.
Oh, right. Sorry, my mistake. We blame you and the writers.
You'll be
Poor
hearing
Thomas.
from my lawyer.
Enough with the arguing! Can we just get back on track, please? No pun intended.
Lol.
Thought you'd never ask. Anyways, Emily was helping Trevor the traction engine in the vicarage orchard. Birds were singing, and flowers were blooming in the trees. It was a lovely day. James puffed up. Hello, Emily. Trevor, you look as bright and cheerful as my red paint.
Oh, stop being so modest, James.
Huh?
My
What's that
favorite
noise?
engine, honestly, had to be,
Oh,
if I named
that's just the
engines
vicar's pet
for the main
peeve.
11, that would be
Precisely.
Edward. Oh, wait.
They're
sorry.
all in these books.
Real quick, is that if I had my favorite engines in the whole main 11, that would be Edward, Duck, and Oliver. I just love those three. Including is that I have three of them in Bachman now. I have Oliver, I have Duck, and Edward. Including I have Tommy Oliver, which cost me over $143, which cost me almost $110, but it was worth it.
Boxy things called beehives. Me and Emily are taking them to the station later today. The vicar says these bees make good honey, and he's giving some of them to his friends. Are you sure he's not just gonna sell it on eBay again?
Maybe.
Oh, don't be silly. It's the 90s. The internet doesn't even exist yet. Or, at least it shouldn't.
Just then, Mavis pulled up.
Hey, it's Mavis.
Morning, Trevor. I've brought some workmen to load more hives.
Thanks, Mavis.
Oh, and James, I'd take care if I were you. Don't make the bees angry. They might sting you.
Yeah, right. Like I need to be told what to do by a diesel. And with that said, James buzzed away.
He'll just have to learn the hard way, I guess. Well, I'd best be off. Edward and Salty are expecting me at the sidings. Bye.
Bye, Mavis. Bill and Ben, the mischievous tank engine twins, were busy arranging cars, but they scampered off when they saw Mavis.
Run.
I remember the first time I met those two. They nearly drove me to insanity. Thank God for cheap psychiatrists.
Yarg! It'd be a shame that Edward is the only one who can keep Bill and Ben in order. Well, it's a tough job, but someone's gotta do it. Especially since our own head of the railway board refuses to do a damn thing about it. Sir Topham Hatt, are you in there? Go away!
Sir Topham, get out of the house.
Leave me alone! I'm reading Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing!
What?
Sir, you gotta come down and deal with this! Don't make me do stuff! In fact, I heard that Duck sometimes calls Bill and Ben the Bees.
A good name. They're terrors when they start buzzing about.
Just then, James bustled in. What's that, Edward? Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects, after all. So don't let those buzzbox diesels tell you different. Their names are Mavis and Salty, and they didn't. You know, I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I would just blow smoke and make them buzz off.
Are you sure about that?
Buzz, buzz, buzz. What the hell's that supposed to mean? How the hell should I know? Whatever the script says goes.
You broke the fourth wall.
The next morning, James arrived
Hey,
at
look,
the
it's
station
Oliver.
to collect
It's
the
Hornby
express.
Oliver.
Usually, Gordon would pull it, but he was at the works being fitted with a new boiler. The passengers were excited and keen to get on board. Get in quickly, please. But what James didn't know was that he was heading for trouble. The porter was hauling a cart with one of the vicar's beehives on it. Why a beehive is being moved around in a public area, I'll never know. But the porter was in a hurry and being rather careless. Mind your backs! Special and implausible load coming through!
Uh-oh.
Then there was trouble.
Right.
The beehive fell and broke open. The porter shouted a warning, and the station cleared like magic. Hey, what's going on? Uh-oh. That's not a good sound. And it wasn't. The bees were too cold to be cross, so they buzzed around the fireman, hoping he'd mend their hive. But he didn't understand, nor did his driver. So the bees turned to James. They stared at his nice, warm boiler. Oh no. I sure hope they don't think my boiler is a freshly picked rose. Hey, you swarm, go find a daisy or something, will ya?
Did someone call my name?
Daisy?
No, not you, Daisy. Please, little bees, go fly away. There's nothing here to pollinate today. I said buzz off!
Lol.
Suddenly, one of the bees burnt his foot. The bee thought James had burned him on purpose. Hey, where'd he go? Uh-oh.
Well, you're screwed.
Oh! That's it! I had enough of this nonsense! We're out of here! My nose! I look like a deranged circus freak!
Lol.
Come on, James! We gotta try and get rid of these pests! But they didn't notice until too late that they had left all their coaches behind. They tried everything to get rid of the bees. First, they tried blowing them away with a fan, but to no avail. They tried washing them off, but the bees clung harder to James's warm boiler. Then they tried smoking
Good night, everybody.
them off inside of a long tunnel, but still the bees wouldn't go away. Come on! Isn't there anything else we could do to get rid of these pests? Hey, Bob, don't you have that can of bug spray on you? Try using that. Oh yeah, good thinking. Let's try that. Ow! It didn't work!
I think he meant spray it.
It's no good, James. We'll just have to go back to the orchard and fetch another hive. James's reply was drowned by the sound of buzzing. Trevor was waiting anxiously for James. When he arrived, the bees swarmed straight into their new home.
Well, that was easy.
Whew. Glad that's over. Come on, James. What you need now is a good hose down. James hoped that the sidings would be empty that evening. But to his dismay, there were engines there. Two of them
Darn it.
being Bill and Ben.
And I thought his incident with bootlaces was silly. But this just takes the cake.
You know, it's a pity it's not Christmas. Then we could just call you James the Red-Nosed Engine.
And even James had to smile.
And that was a video from Miss Oliver and Blossom. I really enjoy his series now, and it's kind of sad that he no longer does Thomas content anymore. But I can't judge him because since, well, if he wants to leave the Thomas fandom or whatever, that's his pure choice. That's not my choice. Anyway, we're gonna watch some Sodor Fallout stuff, I guess. Sodor Fallout's not getting as popular as it used to be, but still good. Let's see. Is this copyrighted? Hold on. I can't tell if it's copyrighted or not, like the first song. Well, guess we'll just have to find out.
They think I'm crazy. Mayday, mayday, the ship is slowly sinking. They think I'm crazy, but they don't know the feeling. They're all around me, circling like vultures. They wanna break me and wash away my colors. Wash away my colors. Lately, I am nothing. How you make everything okay, okay, okay.
I do not own the rights to this song, so don't copyright me.
One and the same. Oh, you take all of the pain away, away, away. If I become my demon, I cannot stop this sickness taking over. It takes control and drags me into nowhere. I need your help. I can't fight this forever. I know you're watching. I can feel you out there. I don't think of you. Make everything okay, okay, okay. We are one and the same. Oh, you take all of the pain away, away, away. Save me if I become my demons. Take me over the walls below. Fly forever, don't let me go. I need a savior to heal my pain when I become my worst enemy. The enemy. Me high and I'll sing, oh, you make everything okay, 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 okay. And we wanna sing, oh, you take if I become my demon.
That was cool. That just makes me really feel bad for Oliver that he had to go through that kind of stuff. Now we're going to react to some spooky Thomas content, such as one I've wanted to do on a stream for a long time, but Ghost of the Train. But Ghost Train of the Gap.
AVR to assist the workings of the vibe.
Don't mind that I was watching this before. Turned up. Okay. right? Hit it.
Between Crosby and Wellsworth, there's a viaduct which connects the rails over the river. It was considered by many train spotters as the perfect train spotting location, with its breathtaking views either snowing, spring, or even at night. Historians or railway fans can tell you about its history, like the time Gordon lost his dome on the viaduct, the 1985 repair that almost brought the entire railway to a standstill. However, there's one story that's so unknown and so disturbing that 1 in 20 engines or people knew about it and wouldn't dare to share it. This is the story of the ghost train at the Gap. In 1900, the railway was booming in Sodor. The Victorian era, or the 19th century, may be coming to an end, but it's the beginning of a new century, the 20th century. However, there was one problem. The NWR wasn't actually existing in Sodor yet, but consisted of 3 railways. The S&M, or the Sodor Mainland Railway, W&S, or the Wellsworth and Sudbury Railway, and the TK&E, or the Timoth, Nafford, and Elsbridge Railway. Between them was a river which split the TK&E from the other 2. It was known as the Gap by some people since it split the railway from being one. Around 1910, 3 railway companies decided to come together into a single railway, which will be known as the NWR. Soon the 3-year work on the viaduct began, once the trackers had been laid down toward the cliffs. However, there was another problem. All of the engines were busy with their jobs, like pulling passengers, goods, or assisting with other projects on the line. So instead, the company hired a tank engine from the GWR to assist the workings of the viaduct. However, it had no original tank engine. The engine was an 1895 prototype of the GWR Holden 101.
Hey, another great
Which
Westerner.
you're familiar with the Hornby train set. The difference is it had a large boiler to hold more water compared to the newer models and an enclosed cab. Despite this, the engine was proven to be hard-working and progress was going well for the viaduct. Until one night, on 29th of June, 1913. On that night, a night shift foreman was watching over workmen near the entrance to the viaduct when he noticed something. There seemed to be steam in the distance and puffing sounds. He pulled out his binoculars and looked through them. What he saw was the engine puffing towards the viaduct, and he was carrying some coaches. At first he was confused. What's he doing? Until he noticed something else. The engine was going faster and faster without stopping. Fearing the inedible, he blew his whistle and cried, "Runaway train!" alerting the other workers on both sides of the viaduct. Many of them ran away from the bridge.
If you look, this is when you want to see a movie.
Stood back and watched. The engine came roaring past, screaming with its whistle blowing and ear-piercing sounds, so loud that some of the workers even lost their hearing. The coaches that the tank engine were pulling looked like they were filled with passengers. The engine crashed into the work barriers and fell down into the river below. There was a loud crash before a mighty explosion could be heard as the boiler exploded. The workers ran down the embankment to the crash site to check for any survivors in case of some miracle. But what they saw was shocking. It could only be seen as a picture of hell. The carriages were burning due to the explosion. Bodies of the victims laid around the scene, some even decapitated due to the huge force they must have experienced. The engine remained in pieces due to the blast, almost enough to along with its crew. Once the deaths were counted, 56 people had died, including the crew of the tank engine. It was considered by some to be the most deadliest and worst train wreck in UK history, if not the entire world. Not even other train accidents from past and features such as the Harrow and Wealdstone, Quintonshire, or even the Armageddon in 1899 could possibly beat it for not only the deadliest of crashes and the amount of lives lost, but also the mystery and conspiracy that would follow. And the original engine that was meant to take him to Wellsworth had broken down, and since the tank engine was the only engine available, he took it, and due to being 15 minutes late when it departed, it was traveling faster to make up for lost time. Investigators also interviewed the designers of the prototype engine, who mentioned that the engine had a huge problem where rarely its brakes failed due to its design being too heavy, which is why it wasn't adopted, and after the recent ordeal, the Holden 101 tank engines were scaled down compared to the tank engine. The reason why it was given to the NWR during the construction was, as long as the engine was traveling at a slower pace, either around the worksite or pulling a slow goods train, it was considered worthy enough to help with construction. Soon the official inquiry concluded that the failure of the accident was due to the design of the engine's braking power, plus the unfortunate timing of being in the wrong place at the wrong time for pulling the train when the original engine failed. Despite this, many workers refused to believe this, because whenever something was not right before an accident, it can lead to a decades-old mystery. Soon many workers were saying that the engine was insane, which is why he never talked. and it unfortunately was given a train of passengers, which gave them an excuse to travel faster like an express. Others say that the accident was a suicide made to look like an accident. However, the most common theory is that the engine was possessed by the devil himself. It could explain why he was acting very strange and antisocial lately, but there were some more pointers during the accident. The first thing is while the workers were running away, they could hear the engine screaming like a lost soul, like a demon. Some workers who stayed back and witnessed the accident reported the engine had fiery red eyes and devil teeth. At first, the theorists took no notice due to the other workers thinking that the comrades must have been delusioned or traumatized by the accident. However, the theory quickly escalated when the foreman who spotted the engine had suffered a horrifying death. While he was walking to a station at Wellsworth on his way home, he slipped and accidentally fell into the path of a moving train, killing him within seconds.
Ooh.
Many workers tell everyone that it wasn't an accident but a suicide. They say that while he was looking through his binoculars, he spotted the engine's fiery demon red eyes, and he committed suicide as he couldn't get enough of it, or worse, possessed to do so. Whenever it was by accident, insanity, suicide, or possessed, or something unexplainable, it was still a mystery. After the accident, the three companies had run out of money due to paying the families or loved ones of the victims, replacing and repairing the work equipment in the bottom of the viaduct for damage due to the explosion. Luckily, one of the chairmen was friends with the First Lord of the Admiralty, none other than Winston Churchill, who saw the island as an outpost in the direction of Ireland and gave the NWR
It's
enough
called the
money
ghost. It's called the Ghost Train of the Gap.
Unfortunately, despite how deadly the crash was, it was overshadowed by the outbreak of the Second Balkan War in 1913, and thus was forgotten about it. The Rev W. Audrey was planning to tell the story in the beginning of the Ghost Train story in tramway engines, but it was cut due to fears that he could give the readers nightmares. Although there's a TV show covering it during the 70s, it only aired once due to how disturbing it was with only one reviewer, whose review was, in the Soder Sun's newspapers, quoted, "A shocking but great as a campfire horror story. Might tell it to my engine over on the NWR." However, a creepypasta appeared around 2015 that tells the story of the engine called Timothy, who crashed in revenge for his controller while possessed by demons to kill his younger brother Thomas. While the story helped the accident gain a bit of attention, it was however not true, because in the story, the engine was an E2 prototype, not a GWR Holden. He was scrapped when all of the E2 kind were scrapped, and he was also a father figure to Thomas. Even to an extent that when Thomas was told of the story, he was raging mad and swore that he wanted to kill the author of the story for insulting his brother. But back to the story, many historians, however, don't think the accident actually happened. There are no photos of the engine itself, nor the accident areas besides a painting of it, or even legalized death certificates of the victims. However, there is one piece of evidence that was a manifest on the train the engine pulled at the time. It was the same original engine and passenger numbers. There was a rumor from the inquiry notes of the accident, but it was lost forever. But it's once said that every year on the day of the accident, it runs again as a warning to others,
Yeah.
punching into the gap, screaming like a lost soul.
Hey, Toby. Okay, now that's that one done with. Alright, now let's see about any others. Don't mind if you hear that in the background.
AG1 places all of these key health products. That's nutrition made simple.
Roll the cheese!
I am so sorry about that. I really am. I'm so sorry. Like I said, don't mind if you hear that in the background. Alright, let's see. I guess we can watch this. Just checking to be sure. Oh yeah, in case I might have said this before, is that I do not own any footage that is shown in this or any music. Everything belongs to their respective owners. Hey, look, it's Thomas. It's Sir Topham Hatt. Huh, that crane will totally not have anything to do with later. Hey, 40. Oh, geez, look at that van. That van's fucking creepy. Poor Thomas. Oh no. Frick. Poor Toby. Just watch. Toby, no.
You just needed that drink, didn't you? No. You're just spoiled in this house. You don't pay the bill. I'll pay the bill. You're so spoiled. Did you drink that Kroger? Oh, no, you're getting knocked out. Hello, everybody. I am sorry, but we're going to have to cut this stream short because I have to go do some stuff. Don't forget to watch, like, and subscribe. Click the bell icon so you never miss a video. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
So what we should